Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Tim Ray from Pickup 360. This video I'm going to really quickly talk about when you should text a girl after you open her during cold approach. And by that I mean specifically when you go out and game and you text a girl and you meet a girl in the street and you number close her, get her number, when you should text her. Before I tell you exactly when's the right time to text her, I want to give you a little bit of background for why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I guess the best way to explain it is to talk really quickly about how the traditional dating frame works. It's set up where guy meets girl at a workplace or a social place like that, or at like I said, at his job. He meets her through a friend or something like that. He talks to her a little bit, asks her out, hopes that she likes him back, all that stuff. And this is how society is kind of set up. So let's say that you open a set. That girl's an individual, and all the people that she's around all the guys she's around play a certain role in her emotional state. For example, I'm sure she has some guys that are friend zoned, and those guys have a lower emotional value to her, or it's not a sexual emotional value. Other guys that she knows she may have a crush on are guys that she thinks are super cute and wants to get with, and those guys have a higher emotional value and a higher sexual range that they can go with her. What happens is when you cold approach, you completely throw this off for a girl for about an hour, I would say, or no, longer than an hour, for a good day or 2 days, depending on if you keep talking to her. Because what happens is she's used to just meeting guys, again, through social circle, through work, or if she goes to a club, a place where you're supposed to occasionally meet a guy, or a bar, and gets hit on by all these whack guys. But what happens is you've approached her during the day, a time where her resistance is lowered. She's like, what the hell? Guys don't come and talk to me during the day. Therefore, you're kind of cutting in to that emotional sphere that she has, and you're an anomaly. You're something different because guys don't approach girls like that during the day. So this is an advantage for you, something that you need to capitalize on. And let's say that she has two guys that she's talking to and another guy that she has a crush on. When you open her during the day and talk to her during the day, and assuming you do it right, even if you're a newbie, if you make even a small emotional or sexual connection with her, that is going to leave an imprint on her mind because she's not used to seeing this. You guys get what I'm saying? So therefore, you're going to have a higher chance with her because of how different it is what you did. I'm telling you, just talking to a girl randomly during the day and being very intentful and being very open about your sexuality and saying, I like you, I think you're sexy and I want to sleep with you or want to go out with you in a romantic way and not as just a friend like a lot of guys do, and then try to sneak through her defenses. If you don't do it, if you just hit them head on and say, hey, I like you, I'm sexually attracted to you, you greatly, and I can't stress this enough, you greatly put yourself on a level that a lot of guys in her social circle are not at, because all those other guys, she chose them. She chose to like them. Or they happen to be really cool guys that she was like, hey, I like him. But she doesn't know you. So you came in cold, you came in randomly, and she was like, hey, this is an option for me. And you're basically picking her. You're telling her, hey, I like you. I'm making an investment and I want to go out with you. I choose you. She's not choosing you from a pool of guys that she's been around and choosing who to friend zone and who not to. So the advantage is in your court. The ball is in your court. Because all her emotions and all her emotions and all her sexual energy is geared towards you, fucking you. How can you take advantage of this and how can you capitalize on this? Well, and by when I say that, I mean, how can you get a date and go on a date that leads to sex on the first date? I actually it took me a long time to learn how to do this properly, and now I've had success with it. But even still, like, I see weaknesses in my game as far as this is concerned. But what I'm going to address is not text game. I'm specifically talking about when you text the girl. When should you text her? Because there's a certain range of time where she's going to be very into you, thinking about you and thinking about the interaction she just had. But at the same time, right after that range is lost, after that range of time, she will completely lose the emotional value that you would that you had invested in her. And again, this is not always. Nothing in pickup is always every single time, unless it's something absolutely major. But this is not a rule of thumb, per se. This is just a phenomenon that I see happen often, more often than not. And it's happened with me quite often. I'll give an example. So I would go out and I would open 50 sets in a day. in one period of time, let's say 3 hours, I'd open 50 sets, which means talk to 50 girls, 50 to 100. I would number close 30 of them, and I would send really whack text messages to all of them the next day. Or within an hour, I would send really decent text messages, not whack, but decent messages, a copy and paste, send it to all the girls, get a good response from all of them, and then kind of just mess around and text them the next day and not really follow up. And this was a period where I wasn't getting dates. I was getting number after number after number, but I wasn't really getting a lot of dates. The only sex that I was getting, the only lays I was getting, was when I was actually pulling the same day. When I would be there the very same day and either go with the girl to her dorm or go to my car with a girl or something like that. And it's crazy because even though I had abundance and I was talking to a lot of girls, my results weren't as they should be, and I wasn't getting good quality girls that I liked. I was kind of getting girls that just accepted, hey, I guess I like him now and I'm free. I was only getting girls that were free. I wasn't really capitalizing on those girls that I could see later, the ones that were actually busy and actually had stuff to do, the ones that I really liked. And I was wondering why this was. Well, it was because of my text game. I was texting a lot of different girls, but I was doing it in the wrong way, and I was losing that emotional investment that I had put in. What's the remedy to this? So when you go out in game, you open a lot of sets, focus on 3 or 4 of them to text. You can mass text a bunch of girls, but you should take the top 3 or 4 that give you the best results, the best answers. Or focus on trying to get with 2 or 3 or 4 girls that you really like a lot. Because if you mass text a bunch of girls and just try to manage all of that texting, it's not going to work very well for you, and you're going to end up getting little to no results, or results that are results by chance and by girls who are available right then. Because most girls are not going to be like, you can pull to her place right then, but most sets are not going to be. You're not going to be able to pull to their place right then and there, unless it's night game, of course, because that's when everybody's free. But I'm specifically referring to day game. The best time to text a girl after you meet with her, after you open the set and number close, is within the hour after number closing her. From there, at that point, what I do is I like to take a little break. Don't text her immediately after she responds. Then I respond again with a text and get small conversation going, establishing a little more rapport, get her thinking again about how romantic I was or how sexual I was and how calibrated I was. And I don't say all of that. I don't say I was sexual and calibrated. I flirt a lot, actually. I'm very sexual in my conversation. I stay very congruent because I act very sexual when I talk to girls. I'm very touchy-feely. I do that. So I get her thinking again, hey, I remember this. This is awesome. Because she's still thinking. She's still talking to me. It's fairly recent when the interaction happened. And then after that, I set up a date, and then I lay. So I've had success with this now. That I've been doing this for about 5 years. But at the beginning, I'd say in year 3 or year 2, maybe even year 4, relatively soon actually, so like close to this time, I wasn't having a lot of success with dates. Like I could pull on a first date, but I wasn't getting a lot of those dates. Now I'm getting dates and things like that. But so you guys get what I'm saying. So quickly to summarize, you have an advantage by cold approaching. That's why cold approach is so valuable, because it puts you on a level that's different than other guys. No one cold approaches unless you're into pickup. And that's what makes you so different, because you're jumping into this girl's social circle and you're jumping a couple steps ahead of everyone else. You're jumping in as a guy that chose her for a very romantic and a very intentful for a sexual reason. And then you can take it from there, whatever you want, whether it be a relationship or if you want to pursue just friends with benefits. So that's the first advantage you have. How do you capitalize on that advantage? Text her at the right times. If you text a girl at the right times, you'll have an absolute advantage. And you will be able to have unbelievable results. I'm telling you, timing is everything. It's not even what you text her. Just connect with her, honestly. If you connect at the right times, you're going to have fucking results. Don't be a retard, of course. I may make a blog post about this. I may not. I'm going to blog about other things too. I'm making a blog about what to do on the first date. Check out my blog at pickup360.wordpress.com. My main wingman, Darren, and my co-business partner at Pickup360, he wrote a great blog about stopping one-itis and how to get over one-itis and getting so attached to one girl that you've barely invested in and that's barely invested in you. So check that out. Again, pickup360.wordpress.com. Pickup360. Thanks guys for watching. Stay gaming, and I'll see y'all later. What's up?